Good day. My name is Charles. I'm leading the cybersecurity practice for Frost & Sullivan. Today I'll be sharing with you the cybersecurity outlook for 2016. First of all, let me share with you a quote. This quote is from Warren Buffett, one of the greatest investors in history. He once said that it takes 20 years for us to build a reputation, but 5 minutes for us to ruin it. And if you think about it carefully, you may do things differently. In today's digital world, that is especially true. When we look at so many of our efforts going into digital transformation, but they are not designed with security. And that is the reason why we see so many attacks going to so many of our services that we use. Let's take a look at what happens in the internet within a minute. In this view, you can see that there are a lot of applications that are very familiar to you and I. We are using these applications in our daily lives, and we actually paid for them. Now you may think, what do you mean that I paid for all these applications? I was using Skype for free, I was watching YouTube for free, I was using a lot of these applications without paying for them. The answer is that you have actually paid for them using your privacy. Our private data is actually the new gold. And these applications and services are mining a gold mine. Cyber attackers will want to attack these popular services and exfiltrate data for them to sell in the deep web, to create fraud in order to use your credentials. For example, using your credit card to do an e-commerce transaction. In this slide, it shows to you what has actually gone to all these services, what are the attacks that has happened to all these services. We can see that almost all of these applications and services have been compromised in 2015. Attacks are not only going to applications and services like what we see before using the business world. This is a picture of Marina Bay Sands. And years ago, many of you may not know this, but years ago, Marina Bay Sands received a cyber attack, not to its computer systems or servers, not to actually exfiltrate customer information, but to actually shut off the power supply to 3 floors of the casino. This is an example of an industrial control system attack. Where can we find industrial control systems? It's being used for electricity control, being used in transportation, used in water and wastewater. And in fact, these power grids that we are creating using digital transformation, connecting these ICS devices to the internet, are actually targets of being hacked. This is a research that we've done in 2015, the Asia Pacific Industrial Control Systems Security Report, where we work with penetration testers to do a surface level pen testing. And we realized that at least 3% of 3,000 over internet connected devices for ICS devices are actually vulnerable to attacks. What do we see as a forecast moving forward? First of all, we're going to see more improvement in terms of cyber defenses for critical infrastructures. More investments will be made. We are expecting more cybersecurity operations centers to be set up. These installations actually do have security guards. They have CCTV cameras to actually monitor intrusion of attacks. However, they do not have the right cybersecurity defense and monitoring by 24/7, so that investment has to take place. Next is to talk about the compliance and guidelines that will be issued to these critical infrastructures. We expect these guidelines to be issued to the operational technology as well as the business networks. Next, we also look at the investments into humans. These security operations centers will need more security analysts who can actually decide the right actions to do when they see the occurrence of a threat. So some investments they are looking into will be like cybersecurity training, the sharing of intelligence among industries, and setting up of cybersecurity committees. We're expecting the industries to actually collaborate with one another. Banks will have meetings with each other to talk about threat intelligence. We're expecting that to be happening with the energy industry as well, for example. And one thing that we would like to recommend for all companies to take note is to set up some cybersecurity committees within your own organizations. You may be coming from different departments such as sales and marketing. So each of these departments will have one representative inside this committee, and you can actually discuss about the digital transformation, things that you're actually working on, and how cybersecurity can be part of that design. And lastly is to build a holistic defense beyond the organization. The Association of Banks in Singapore have launched a guideline to actually enforce some level of security standards to their suppliers. And this is one area where we have to take note, because many of the advanced attacks are actually attacking the weakest link, which is their subcontractors, and they do not have the right security in place. So we're going to see more of these outsourcing service providers being enforced to comply to cybersecurity guidelines. For this, we do have an advisory practice that we are helping our organizations to meet security standards. We're also taking our cybersecurity research and creating training curriculums according to that. We're also partnering with very good companies to actually enable some training such as hands-on training for cybersecurity. With that, I shall finish my outlook for 2016. Thank you.